Hi guys, welcome back. This is another video brought to you by myself, Crypto Ryan, and today's video is going to be all about CRV. In my opinion, not only is CRV one of the leading projects in DeFi, but we're at a stage in the cryptocurrency market right now where no one's interested in these projects. Obviously, everyone was interested as we was right up here for DeFi and CRV, but as we've approached back down to this demand zone that we used before coming up, no one seems to be interested. And that's exactly why I'm interested in these projects at the current moment. There's a couple of things shouting out to me on this CRV USD chart that are screaming that we may be in for a 100% move. But not only that, we've got some things showing that especially on the CRV Ethereum and CRV Bitcoin chart, that it usually, using history, is a great time to be accumulating CRV. So I'm going to just delve into them a little bit deeper now as to why I think a bigger move is coming on CRV. So what I've done here is I've just taken us to the monthly time frame for CRV because the last area of demand right here that we used before moving up is actually coming into play right now. We've come back into this area of demand. We had a nice reaction out of it and now we're falling in this sort of wedge type structure. And this monthly time frame, we have 15 days left. I'm expecting us to close above this area of demand, and that would be a strong sign for CRV to move back up to the top of this range and possibly start to fill some of this inefficiency in the candle. Like we had this bit of inefficiency in this candle here that we've had to come down and fill. It looks to me like we might have to come up and fill this inefficiency, and from 80 cents that would be about a 100% move for CRV. So it's a great opportunity in my opinion right here, a good risk to reward if you have your invalidations below here. That CRV is setting up, and it's setting up similar to what Casper did. We had a move down in this wedge type structure where we came down, moved in the wedge type, came back up, and then for Casper we are actually now covering this inefficiency. I think we're halfway through it. So a similar setup for CRV. I think we're just lagging behind. There's a couple of things shouting out to me on the Ethereum CRV and Bitcoin CRV chart that is telling me a big move is coming as well. So I'll shoot over to them right now. So right now I've just brought us over to the CRV Ethereum chart, and using history here you can see this range that CRV Ethereum seems to bounce in. And when we get to the bottom of this range, this demand zone, it usually tends to be quite a good time to accumulate some CRV, especially against Ethereum, because coming down from this zone, we usually start to move up against Ethereum, and we've done it pretty much every single time. So this is not emotional stuff. This is just using price history and probabilities to suggest that using this reaction here that we've already got, we could be in for at least a move to the middle of this range. And if I just put a box here in the middle of this range, right there, you can see that is another zone that would be looking out for. So if we just take the percentage move on that, that would be about coming up to like nearly a 90 to 100% move against Ethereum, and that would coincide with the 100% move that we looked at on the USD chart. There's a similar thing setting up right now against Bitcoin on the CRV Bitcoin chart. Not necessarily as good as this setup, but there's sort of like an inverse head and shoulder structure setting up, so I'll take a look at that right now. We've jumped over now to the CRV Bitcoin chart. I just want to point a couple of things out. You can see this clear range that we've been working in for CRV, and not so long ago we came down and we had a nice reaction from there. But I think what we're setting up right now with this trend line that we're setting up is an inverse head and shoulder type structure that we'd just be working on the right shoulder right now. And you can see we had a nice reaction there with this wick. What I would like to see is if we come down, maybe fill a little bit of this wick, work our way up, and then the target for this sort of inverse head and shoulder structure would be up at this inefficiency that we've got marked out here. And for Bitcoin, CRV against Bitcoin, that again is about a 100% move to the upside. So everything for CRV is setting up for a 100% move. We've got CRV USD, CRV Ethereum, CRV against Bitcoin, all showing similar things in different ways, which is just what I wanted to point out here for CRV. Not only is it a great project, the chart is setting up in great ways. We've used history here, used ranges, used some setups here, And I mean, the risk to reward is very, very good if you've got your invalidations at key levels that you're going to say to yourself, you know what, I'll let this trade go or this investment go at maybe a 5% or 10% loss. For a 100% gain, that is a 10-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So it's really, really good. I think if anyone's looking at this, it should be catching your eye. Whilst no one's talking about DeFi, no one's talking about these projects at the bottom of these ranges, I think it's a good time to point out, these are some good levels, and if we get that 100% move, it's a great profit taking zone. So watch out for that. So I've just brought us over back to the Curve USD chart just to round up for Curve. I'm just going to pull the Fibonacci's now on from the top of these candle bodies to the bottom of these candle bodies, and just see if we can get some confluence in the chart. And from what I'm seeing right here, if you have a look at the top of this inefficient range here is the 236 retracement at about 190 for Curve. So again, pointing out to a nice 100% move for Curve, some good profit taking levels, because after this we could actually dump. We don't actually have to do anything, we could dump now, but these are all just ideas. And obviously the 618 up at this inefficiency in the market at around $3, that would be an even bigger move, nearly 3, 4, 500% move for Curve. So just some key levels to watch out for. I think the chart is setting up for a nice move in Curve, and that would probably translate into the rest of the market for DeFi. So just keep an eye out for that. If you don't mind, just give me a like, give me a comment. If you let me know what you think, subscribe to the channel, guys. It really helps. It's not financial advice, but again, I hope these videos are useful. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Cheers, guys.